Hello, I'm AsherEl, and this is Stablecoin Overview presented by Crypto and Down. Let's just talk about stablecoins, regulations from the federal government, the impact to e-commerce platforms, and the growing popularity across the different types of stablecoins. Stablecoins have become a lot more popular in crypto in general, but if we take a look at crypto donations from federal elections from 2024, we see crypto donations came in around $120 million. So that's almost half of all corporate political contributions to US federal elections came from crypto corporations. If we look back 2 years previously to 2022, we see around $4.6 million. If we look back to 2020, a presidential election year, we see $5.2 million. That would be crypto corporations contributing to political campaigns. So that's a huge jump. And with that huge jump in investment in crypto from crypto corporations, we can expect, which we are, to see new bills and regulations passed and making their way through the Senate as well as Congress. So, two of those bills specifically I wanted to talk about are the Guiding and Establishing National Innovation for U.S. Stablecoins, also known as the Genius Act, and the Stablecoin Transparency and Accountability for a Better Ledger Economy, known as the Stable Act. So, stablecoins are a type of cryptocurrency. I'll talk a little bit more about the types of those later, but you kind of think of those as stablecoins are usually a dollar and digital dollars if you wanted to think about them. But the Stable Act is attempting to define, what these actually are. So it defines a stable coin would be a payment stablecoin, will be a digital asset issued for payment that are redeemable at a predetermined fixed amount, for example, $1, and that hold companies that hold assets in reserve that can be liquidated only to redeem the stable coins. So essentially, kind of what we're saying here is that stablecoin for payments have to be the company that issues them have to have the equivalent amount in reserve. So they also say for dollar-denominated stablecoins, this bill draft would require issuers to hold at least $1 of permitted reserve assets for every $1 worth of stablecoins outstanding or issues. So, and it would also limit, the reserves that you would keep for issuing these stablecoins. You would have to have reserves of currency, insured funds, probably held at a bank as well. So that's what the Stable Act does. The Genius Act, on the other hand, more so falls under the purview of who gets to regulate these issuing entities of stablecoins that are banks. So, for example, it says if an issuer with a market capitalization of less than 10 billion, they would fall under the state's purview. But if it was over 10 billion, they had a market capitalization of their stablecoin issued over 10 billion, then they would fall under federal oversight. So, federal oversight are there to make sure there's no systemic risk to the system and to make sure that, they are in compliance with broader financial policies, that are already set out by either FinCEN and the SEC and some of those different types of government and federal government entities. Stablecoins, we could say, are crypto's killer app, meaning that they are the most widely used part of cryptocurrency. Now, if you were to look at volume, you would see that if you looked at transaction volume across all the different cryptocurrencies, you would find that stablecoins are the most traded by volume. So they're the most used. There are different types of stablecoins. Fiat collateralized stablecoins are the ones that will probably be the most talked about and are the most popular when it comes to stablecoins that are issued by banks and private institutions currently. There are crypto collateralized stablecoins, algorithmic stablecoins, as well as commodity collateralized stablecoins. But if we took a look over at this chart on the right, we can see that in 2024, transactions of volume for stablecoins all surpassed Visa. So both of them, we came in around a little bit under $14 trillion, and Citigroup projects that by 2030, 3.8 trillion of volume in stablecoins, we could see transactions reach that amount. So that's an exponential leap there, an exponential leap. Let's recap the potential here. Stablecoins could evolve, to be the money rail of the internet, from basically the crypto rails where, we have to use mostly stablecoins. People are utilizing that to trade in and out of different cryptocurrencies, to now where they can develop and mature to be the base rail of how we transact on the internet. What implications is this going to have? So, first off, we see companies like PayPal launching their own stablecoin. We see Visa doing partnerships in Latin America to offer cards that can access stablecoins. Stripe is getting back into the crypto space, enabling people to be able to accept USDC transactions. Now, Walmart and Amazon are even teasing, talking about discussions about issuing their own stablecoins. This is going to have a huge impact on everything, essentially. So think about if Walmart, Amazon, so the largest retailers, marketplaces out there, not just for you to go shop in store, not for you people just to shop online for their products that they carry, but to think of all the resellers and different people who utilize their platforms for different things. So the truckers who get paid. So with that, stablecoins have a huge potential to impact all of our lives for how we interact with different platforms across the internet and start our businesses and resell things on these different marketplaces. So I just had a little figure about how MasterCard and Visa saw their stock drop 6% and 7% respectively because of the very announcement by Walmart and Amazon. So you think about if we start to bypass traditional payment systems, Visa, MasterCard, and others, that's going to have a huge effect on those particular companies' stock prices and their valuations as well. Not that many people are utilizing stablecoins for payments or crypto for payments in general. E-marketers, they estimate that from 2024 to 2026, cryptocurrency payment users will jump by 82%. They also forecast only 16% of US crypto owners and 1.9% of the US population will make a payment with crypto this particular year. So there's a large room and opportunity for growth in this industry. Let's look at the impact of stablecoins in e-market. Shopify. Shopify now supports their USDC payments. If we take a look here at the screenshot, we can see somebody paying with USDC. They're able to select from a wide variety of different wallets. So with this partnership between Shopify, Coinbase, and Stripe, merchants can accept crypto payments globally via Coinbase's base network. The idea here is to make it easy for people to accept payments cross border. These are faster, cheaper, at all hours, and people can also onboard and offboard into their local currencies. So think of like people can avoid foreign exchange fees. They can receive their payouts in their local currency or USDC directly. So this will be interesting to see the adoption of this particular aspect of the stablecoin space, utilizing Coinbase's system, Stripe's integration, and to see if more e-commerce platforms follow. Let's just take a look at the trending popularity. We want to take a look over the past year and even drill into this past quarter. Search volume for stablecoin, the term stablecoin, is up 122%. This is according to Google Trends and the app keywords everywhere. So we'll continue to track this, maybe dive into specific stablecoins, USDC, which will be one of the more popular ones here in the US versus USDT, but more to come on that front. Just wanted to give a brief overview about everything happening within the crypto, specifically stablecoin space, and provide an overview. So thank you for tuning in. My name is AsherEl. This is Crypto and Down. And if you have any questions, comments about your interest in stablecoins, your use of stablecoins, or anything about the crypto industry or e-commerce, let us know.